What's going on, everybody? No Elite here, and welcome back to another episode of some Q&A Mondays. Today I have a bunch of great questions from you guys. Thank you for all the questions, and if you're new to the show and you don't know how it works, it's super simple. If you want me to answer a question on the show, leave it down in the comments, and it will get answered. That's the way it goes around here right now. So let's just quickly hop into the updates. I went to Cedar Creek this past weekend. Thanks to Nick for coming out. A bunch of fun playing with you. He shot me with his MP7 while I was a zombie. That thing hurt a lot. But yeah, that was a ton of fun. And I have a fun little overshoot story to tell you guys. There was a dude like midfield, and the game had just started, and I forgot the team had already set up on the field. And so I went running full speed to the middle of the field, and the guy could have easily gotten me out with one shot, but instead he sprayed me down with a 30 round per second.
Woo! That felt good. We don't overshoot anyone, they say. My gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know why people do that. It's not very fun. It's not cool. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Other than that, not too much. I have a new series coming up, but that will be at the end of the episode, so make sure to stay tuned. But that's all it for the updates. Let's dive into your guys' questions.
And Havis asks, if you own a red dot already, would it be better to get a magnifier or a magnified sight?
So the first question from us is kind of interesting. I never really thought about this. I didn't even think about using magnifier at all until this question was posed to me. And someone actually replied to this comment and answered it pretty perfectly. I mean, pretty much what he said is he has a magnifier, and when you flip that magnifier up, the dot on the red dot kind of sways everywhere, which definitely isn't what you want. It's kind of hard to see down it just because there's that gap in between the two glass pieces where the magnifier on the side is. So that can be a little bit iffy. If you're like switching between CQB and kind of like field play a lot. Bravo, I think, is the company. It goes from a 1x zoom to a 4x zoom. So that would be a really good choice too. It's like a little dial. You just turn the dial and it goes up in magnification. So that's a really good thing to do if you're transitioning a lot. You can just get one of those, and just by the twist of your hand, you get
Dallo7007 asks, my question is, how old were you when you first went into Airsoft, and what did you think of it?
So when I first got into Airsoft, let's see, I think I was in 5th grade. I can't really do the math in my head right now. And I like way overthought like the power. I overestimated the power of an Airsoft gun. And I thought it was going to be like a real gun, and it was going to shoot like a mile, and it was going to hurt a lot. So like me and my friends, and we had like the cheap little beginner guns like back then. So I saw like one of my friends like probably 500 feet away, and my teammate was maybe like 50 feet in front of me. And so I thought it was a good idea to shoot at my friend that was like 500 feet away from me. And I ended up shooting my other like teammate friend in the back. And so that was pretty funny. And I was like, wow, these guns really aren't that powerful. And then that was a pretty funny moment. So yeah, about 5th grade.
McCain Barnes asks, what batteries do you use?
So this is a great question, and it actually comes up quite frequently, like what battery is good to use in my gun. Now, a lot of people, you always hear about the LiPos being used in the gun, but there's actually some negatives to LiPos. First of all, you have to buy a separate charger for them because they need like a special charger, or else they can literally blow up, and you don't want that. Well, catch on fire. I don't know how much of blowing up they'll do, but they can definitely catch on fire and burn some stuff pretty good. And secondly, they can destroy your gearbox if it can't handle it. So if you're running like a slightly less than medium grade or like low grade gun, and you put a LiPo battery in there, it's gonna take a little bit to corrode that gearbox, but eventually you're gonna strip your gears and then you don't have a working gun anymore. So I'd say if your gun's anywhere in a price range from like 150 below, you're probably not safe using a LiPo. That being said, there's tons of better options. A 9.6 volt battery will work in pretty much any gun, which is what I use. I like to stay on the safe side, so if you don't know if your gun can handle a LiPo, but you still want a decent rate of fire, a good trigger response, I'd go for a 9.6, because you're pretty much safe with those in any gun you put it in. But if you're really not sure and you're running like an LPEG, which is like a super cheap one, I'd run a 7.2 or lower. I don't even know if they get below a 7.2, but yeah, if you're running like a super cheap, like sub $100 like primary gun, I'd stick with like a 7.2. But that's just my opinion, and that's kind of things I think you should use.
And finally, Enhavsis asks, what's your favorite camo pattern?
So this is kind of an interesting question, and it's another one that I never really thought about. For me, honestly, I don't have a favorite camo pattern. I pretty much just wear whatever fits into my surrounding. The one that I'm currently wearing right now, when I go out to play, is like the classic woodland camo, which is pretty basic. I mean, you can pick it up at like any army surplus store or anything like that. But I mean, it blends in with all those cedar trees and dead brush pretty nicely because all that brown. But yeah, I'd say that would have to be my favorite because that's what I wear all the time. But I mean, I don't really have a favorite. I'd say just wear whatever best fits in your surroundings. Speaking of camo and stuff like that, I'm going to try to get a loadout video to you guys. I know one person was asking what I was like using in my gameplay, so I'm going to try to stitch together a loadout video for you guys. Hopefully should come out sooner or later. If I can find the time, those take up a lot of time. But I will try to find the time to do it and get a loadout video to you guys soon. Alright guys, that's it for questions today. I have a couple left over if we don't have enough for next week, but if you have a question, put it down in the comments section. So now we're going to move on to the topic of the week. This week's going to be a little bit short because I couldn't really think of anything, but I had a really good idea for a new series to do. So at first I was like, let's do an airsoft for beginners, but then I was like, these ideas could be for beginners, but they're actually kind of advanced things. Not really super advanced, but there's something an intermediate player would really like to know that I've found out like in the past couple of years of playing airsoft that I think I'd really love to share with you guys. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing is it's kind of like an airsoft for noobs, but it's a little bit more advanced. It's like airsoft for dummies almost. So be on the lookout for that one. If you have any like topics or anything that you'd like me to do in that, like obviously the first one would be something super simple, like how to sight in your gun of all things. And of course later on I'm going to be getting in like formations and walking patterns, stuff like that, to be like really quiet. Me personally, I like to be super sneaky when I'm out on the field. I've been like codenamed the ninja now or whatever. I don't know. I'm extremely quiet and I only take shots when I need to, and that's the kind of stuff I want to share with you guys. So if you have any topics you would like me to put on the airsoft for beginners, go ahead and put those down in the comment section. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to leave those things down in the comment section. That's it for me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.